Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 27th day of December in the year 2023. I sure hope you're enjoying your Wednesday, no matter where it is you are in the country. But today I come to you with a little bit of developing news, which I can only say is a little bit on the bizarre side. This morning we received a press release from the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office about a man called Donald Kumar Davis. He is 31 years of age and he is a resident of Nutley. He has been charged with a couple of counts of endangering the welfare of a child and child sexual abuse in a case that spans into Bergen County, into Upper Bergen County. Now, as I was doing some research about who this guy was, I noticed the name seemed a little bit familiar. And apparently, this same man, Donald Kumar Davis, was arrested in 2019 and charged with 2 counts of reckless vehicular homicide, where an elderly couple from Lodi were killed. Now, what's interesting about this was there was only one report about the vehicular homicide. In fact, we didn't even have it, at least online. If we did, it might have been in print, but not on our website. But it appears after I spoke with the spokeswoman, Elizabeth Reben, from the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, that Mr. Davis is still facing those 2 charges of reckless vehicular homicide that span from 2019. So what one could only deduce is that he has not faced trial on the charges of reckless vehicular homicide, number one. And number two, I would think he's probably been out on bail. And, I did a search, and there are very few records about this case. The only thing that was indeed confirmed to me for sure is that he was indeed charged twice in the vehicular homicide of an elderly couple in Lodi in 2019, 4 years ago. And so now he's facing charges of sexual abuse of a child. What is perhaps even more bizarre about all of this is that the man you see in the picture, which is him, recently opened up some kind of athletic facility in Nutley for youth and teenagers and young adults. And there was a press release that was sent out by Presswire the day after he was arrested. And this picture you see here with it is of Mr. Davis, and there is a young child in this photo, which we have blurred out for obvious reasons because it would be terrible to, of course, put that photo out there. But this photo was actually sent out as a publicity piece for this new business that he was opening up and attempting to get off the ground. So while he faced 2 charges of vehicular homicide, he was also out there and opening up this new business. So that's where it stands right now, and that's what we know. And as soon as we know more, we will bring it to you. But I'm not so sure we're going to find out all that much more about this. But as of now, this same man who faced charges of vehicular homicide 4 years ago and did not yet get to trial now faces the sexual abuse of a minor charge in Upper Bergen County, and that's where it stands. And my buddy Bill Scarterfield is here, and he says, how did he get bail? In the state of New Jersey, unfortunately, even vehicular homicide is often not enough to keep, it seems, people behind bars. After bail reform of a couple years ago, there's a point system that the judges have to follow. They have no recourse, and if they don't add up to a certain amount of points, they have to be released on bail. And you have moments like this where somebody who's charged with vehicular homicide is out, and now he faces these other serious charges as well. Does it work? Sometimes, yes, it certainly does, where people who have had lower level offenses do get bail when they normally wouldn't have, and sometimes are behind bars until they get to trial for years on marijuana possession, which is not even a big thing now. But in this particular case, the reason that this guy is out was because he didn't have enough points, apparently, from what I've been able to deduce, what I've learned about bail reform, up until the time where he was charged with 2 counts of reckless vehicular homicide, and thus he was out and now stands facing these charges that he sexually assaulted children. And that is perhaps the biggest shame and sham of them all. So, when we learn more about this case, we're going to share it with you. It is certainly not a regular one, and not one that we're used to hearing much about. But what's most interesting that was there was no mention of this other case in the press release, which is fine. But there was no some of the other media outlets that have reported this have not reported anything about the guy's past, which really kind of builds up to the body of the crime, that there was something perhaps a little bit amiss prior to this even happening. And unfortunately, indeed, he was out on bail when he was allowed to now be charged with the sexual assaults. That's it. That's where it stands. And if anything else comes up, we will share it with you at theobserver.com. We have the full story right now online at www.theobserver.com. So if you want to read all the details, you can find it there right now. And then, of course, in the January 3rd edition of The Observer. So from the newsroom of The Observer and theobserver.com, Kevin Kness is signing off for now. That's where it stands, and we hope to see you back here again very, very soon under much better circumstances. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Take care, Melanie. Take care, Billy. Carmen, I see you there too, and anybody else who is watching us. Bye-bye, everybody.